This video is brought to you by The Great Courses.
So facts, everyone talks about P mode. I hear people say it stands for professional mode. I hear people say that it's garbage and you should never use it. And so I'm wondering, how good is your camera if you just keep it in P mode all the time? So Tony and I are gonna try it out, and our first challenge is a hard one because we're gonna go do wildlife. Let's try it.
P is for pro.
I hear osprey, I saw an osprey. Maybe we'll actually get a decent shot.
P mode is a little different on every camera, but generally, cameras pick a shutter speed that will cancel out camera shake and then adjust the aperture and ISO to give you the right exposure. You can use the main dial to adjust both the aperture and the shutter speed simultaneously. You can also adjust exposure compensation to change the brightness of your picture.
I found a bird, it's a swan, and it's still. So I'll see how P mode does with still wildlife.
The Canon P mode picked 1/320th because it decided that's about as slow as I could handhold that telephoto lens. When I moved the main dial, it would use a smaller f-stop number, thus giving me a slower shutter speed, but it wouldn't let me pick a faster shutter speed.
The histogram looks okay, these settings are all fine for a still bird, but once something is flying, I probably want like 1/1000th of a second at least. So I set the lowest shutter speed limit to 1/1000th of a second. I haven't shot wildlife in a while and my arm is really tired. That's actually the biggest thing holding me back right now. For still wildlife, it seems fine. If you put on the shutter speed limiter so that your lowest shutter speed is higher for wildlife, it works, but at that point you might as well just learn how to use shutter priority mode. It's not easier, it's possible if you already know how to use your camera. And actually, it's not really practical because when I have a bird that's staying still, I want the lowest possible shutter speed so that I get less grain in my photos, less noise. I'm always switching between flying birds, still birds. I don't want to have to go into the menu system to do that. P mode for wildlife, it can be done. It's not practical. It's actually more difficult than learning how to use shutter priority.
Now is actually a good time to mention that if you've gravitated towards P mode because camera settings seem confusing, you should try watching The Fundamentals of Photography by Nat Geo photographer Joel Sartor. The series is brought to you by The Great Courses, and right now The Great Courses is having a sale on this specific course for 85% off. You don't need a subscription and you'll be saving over $200. If you're wondering why I need to control the shutter speed to shoot wildlife, Lesson 4 of The Fundamentals of Photography is going to show you how to choose your shutter speed and how different shutter speeds impact how your photo will look. Joel even shows tips on how to get good bird photos. A bird nerd after my own heart. Click the link in the description below to get The Fundamentals of Photography today for 85% off, or visit thegreatcourses.com/Tony. Next, we wanted to test P mode for more casual shooting, so we headed to New London for some lunch. With more casual shooting, P mode worked fine. It intelligently chose a reasonable shutter speed and aperture with the lowest possible ISO, and I could use the main dial to adjust the f-stop to control depth of field and use the exposure compensation to change the brightness of the image. My favorite part was that the camera automatically reset the settings each time I picked it up, so if you used a fast shutter speed or a low f-stop number and forget to reset your settings, it won't ruin your next shot.
So I'm gonna just try some around town stuff, like I'm on a trip or I'm just going out to lunch. Let's see how P mode holds up under these pretty typical circumstances. Let's see the whale tail. You can still control your aperture, you can still use exposure compensation, so there are plenty of things you can adjust in P mode. It seems fine in this situation. I used to teach piano lessons here.
P mode was terrible for wildlife, but great for general shooting. How would it do for portraits, though? We headed to Harkness State Park to find out.
I'm using P mode to shoot portraits with the Sigma 10514, and they look okay. I chose the aperture, I chose 1.4, and then it did auto ISO, auto shutter speed. It seems to work, certainly much better than wildlife. My conclusion of P mode is a little bit unexciting. I don't think P is for professional, but I also don't think that P mode is bad or shameful or exclusively for beginners. I could see myself picking up my camera and flipping it into P mode if I needed to get a quick shot and I didn't have time to
worry about the settings or look at my camera at all. I would never use P mode for sports or wildlife. I just need that control over the shutter speed. But I do think that P mode is great for beginners, especially if you're just starting to figure out how all of your camera settings work and you want to focus on lighting and composition and all of those other elements before you start worrying about the perfect exposure and things like that. You shouldn't be ashamed. If you want to use P mode, just use P mode. If you'd like to see more videos like these and you want to be the first to know, you can subscribe to our channel and you'll get a notification. Thanks and see you next time.